He actually got to see the way they do pay though, which I thought was really great. They have an app and, he clocks in through the app, he clocks out through the app, but then it shows him his daily pay for what he got, so he gets to, but she still does pay every 2 weeks, so he has to wait. Yet again, something he has to learn. It's not instant gratification with the pay. He's not getting paid in cash. He has to wait for the check to come in 2 weeks because she pays on the 1st and the 15th. He started on the 16th. He's gotta wait. So, he knows he's gonna get paid, a certain amount of money. He knows what he's going to get because the app told him, but he has to wait 2 weeks.
Hi everyone, I'm Lexie Callies. Do you feel the squeeze of caring for an elderly loved one and school-aged children? Then welcome to the Sandwich Stories. Let's dig in.
Hiya! Hi, everybody. It's Lexie Callies with Sandwich Stories. I hope you're having a really great week. Mom hat today. I'm really proud of my son, and I'm gonna give him a little toot toot. Good job, Shelby. Um, and what the feelings come with this announcement. Shelby got a job. Oh my gosh. So, Shelby had been talking, I mean, he's 14 years old, so there's that caveat, right? So there's only so many things he can do. There's only so many things I will let him do. And he and his friends had this scheme that they were all going to get jobs at Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A hires 14-year-old kids and they were all going to work there together. I get the I put the kibosh on that real fast. I was like, "No, we're not gonna do that." And he was, like, really upset, and I had to explain to him that he's 14. He does not need a job. He does not have a hardship. We're not in a position where he needs to contribute to the family situation. That's not where we are. And I feel that those jobs at Chick-fil-A are for children who have hardships and that need to contribute in a certain way. And so he does not need that job. He also does not need to be at the whim of a manager. He does not need to be at a job where I feel that everybody is like 20 and 20 years old and older. Like these things don't need to happen. But now that he's 14, um, he has been going to the same riding camp, horseback riding camp since he was 3 years old. And it's in town. They are a wonderful family that has been in town for, I wanna say since 1970. The lady who runs it, her dad still lives on the property, and he's 96 years old, and he still lives there, and they have all these horses, and so she does horse camp. She also has a nonprofit, called Amy's Wish with Wings. It is a wonderful, um uh, equine therapy for those with special needs. So check that out. That's really cool. Amy's Wish with Wings. We'll put that also up as a link. So if y'all ever want to check it out, they're great. But like I said, she does horseback camp and it can be a half day or an all day. So the kids come in at 9, they leave around 3, 3:30, and they can have lunch. If they stay all day, they have lunch and they do all sorts of things, but like I said, Shelby has been there since he was 3, multiple times a year, loves the horses, loves Doreen, loves being outside, but now that he's 14, he can't go to camp. They age out, which is kind of a bummer, um, because I feel that some kids need to have camp, like, during spring break and things like that, not sitting on their devices for 7 days in a row and then have to go back to school. So they need to be out, they need to do things, and this is rain or shine, does not matter the weather. So I had texted her and I said, "Hey, Shelby's 14 now. Do you need any volunteers?" I thought he would just volunteer. She's like, "Yeah, sure. Monday morning, come at 8:30. We'll get him going." So he started on Monday. It was great. He came in and campers start at 9, so he had to help feed the horses, water the horses, get them all ready to go, bridle them, saddle them. things like that. He did a lot of ranch hand work. I think because he's one of the only male workers, there's a lot of women, a lot of girls that work there, but he's one of the only boys that works there. So I think they had him doing a few other things that are a little more manual labor than maybe the girls did. But the girls participate too. They do a lot of the same things he does. It's not divided that way. So he showed up at 8:30. It was 32 degrees. He was layered, he was ready to go. I think it was a high of 45 on Monday, so it was gonna be cold, but they still had camp. He still had to work, he still had to do everything. Um, and so he worked 3 days. The camp was only 3 days this week, so he did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8:30 to 3:30. So proud of him. He said he had a great time. He does not mind the manual labor stuff. He does not mind shoveling horse manure. He does not mind hauling alfalfa and hay bales, things like that. He doesn't mind going in the chicken coop if needs be, because some people don't like chickens, and like me, I don't like chickens. I think they're scary. They will come after you. I don't like birds. I think that's I don't like birds. Birds have never liked me. My best friend in high school had a bird, and he thought it was hilarious that his bird would come and try to bite me. I don't like birds. Um, so I I would not be the person to go in the chicken coop. So Shelby does those kinds of things. But then he has to once the Monday, it was a little chilly for the kids to go out on the horses, so they did other things. They still got to be with the horses. They got to they have human safe glitter, and they were able to the kids got to like decorate the horses kind of like unicorns. So Shelby said they put glitter on the horses, and then they braid their manes. Well, Shelby's job was to detangle and unbraid all the horses manes, which he said was very hard because they actually used little rubber bands to hold the braids, and he had to get those out, and he said they got tangled up in the horse's mane, and it was just a real pain. But he did it. He didn't complain. And he came home every day saying he had a great time. He worked really hard. He felt good about it. And I think this is what we're missing in our society right now is that kids, a lot of kids, not all kids, a lot of kids are not working hard, are not outside doing physical activities on a regular basis, even um, if it's a job, great. If it's volunteer work, wonderful. Um, if it's chores around the house, I don't find that people aren't giving their kids chores around the house the way I felt like I had chores around the house. Like my dad believed in manual labor real strong. That was his favorite form of punishment for me. But then also, his thought was, you live in this house, you're going to contribute. So, sweeping out the garage, um, oh, we had this lean-to between 2 building our, my dad had a workshop and then the house, and it had a lean-to in between, and it would always be the place where the oak leaves would gather, so I had to clean all of that out. The pool, when I was 9, I started learning how to use pool chemicals, and so my job was to sweep the pool, clean the skimmers, um, do all the pool chemicals every week. The only thing I wasn't allowed to touch was the pool equipment. That was my dad's job, but I had to do all of these things. My mom had a cleaning lady. She always had a cleaning lady, so I didn't do a lot of that. I did my own laundry. I had to iron. My mom loved everything to be ironed, so all my clothes, even if they were folded, were then ironed and folded and then put away. Um, if I got in trouble, that meant I had to clean every single window inside and out of our whole entire house. Um, for a while, we had a little my dad didn't realize it, but we had a leak, or actually, it was not really a leak. It was like, the AC drain got clogged, and so it was overflowing to the overflow valve, and then it would, drip and then make this algae sometimes, and so my job was to, get the bleach out and clean it up and bleach it and make sure it was not there anymore. Um, and I didn't mow the lawn, and my dad said because I was not a boy, I didn't have to mow the lawn. So there's that. But I feel like people aren't making their kids do these things anymore, and so to have Shelby go to this job and to work hard and to be around others, be outside, be accountable, I think was really good for him. He said he felt great. That's the best part. He felt great. He even had a good time with the kids. That was, I think, more than anything else, the thing I was worried about. Was he going to be comfortable and do well around the kids? Like, if you're not used to working with kids, it can be, it can be a lot. Kids can be a lot, especially if there's like 10 of them. Sometimes they can be a little clingy. And like I said, he's the only one that was a boy, a male ranch hand at the time. So there were a few boys and they really liked hanging out with him. But he showed me a picture. He had his boss take a picture of him and some of the kids, and he showed me, he's like, "Look at my picture from my first job." And then, knowing the owner, I did ask her, I said, "I know you take photos of the kids at camp." I said, "Is it possible for you to get a picture of Shelby doing something on his first day of job?" And she did. She sent me a photo and it was him mucking a stall. And I said, "So how was that? How was mucking the stall? How was the horse manure? Those kinds of things?" He said, "It was fine. I felt great. It was good." So I'm really proud of him. He actually got to see the way they do pay though, which I thought was really great. They have an app, and he clocks in through the app, he clocks out through the app, but then it shows him his daily pay for what he got. So he gets to, but she still does pay every 2 weeks. So he has to wait. Yet again, something he has to learn. It's not instant gratification with the pay. He's not getting paid in cash. He has to wait for the check to come in 2 weeks because she pays on the 1st and the 15th. He started on the 16th. He's got to wait. So he knows he's going to get paid a certain amount of money. He knows what he's going to get because the app told him, but he has to wait 2 weeks. And then when that comes, we're going to start talking to him about um, what it's like, to put money away, to put money aside. And so he'll get his paycheck and then he's going to have to put away about 10% and put that into a fund, whether it's a savings account or we're going to start looking at other things too, other investment things, which I think is great for kids to start with their very first paycheck. The minute they start making money, they should be putting money away. It should just be automatic, not something they're not even thinking about. Like it's just an automatic 10% withdraw and it goes into a fund of whatever sort it is, so that as they get older and they're making more money, this 10% is always just not in their paycheck, it's not in their budget, but it's going into a fund that will help them as they get older and they retire. And the sooner you can start it, the better. So the minute they get that first paycheck, whether it's 14, 15, 16, 18, whatever it is, it's just, oh yeah, 10% goes away. It's just an automatic withdrawal. And then, once they get a job, when they have like a 401k option, um, they are willing to max out the contribution to their 401k that they get if there's a matching program. Yet again, it's just not even thought about. It's just put away and it's there. And this is how kids can start to have this mentality of a rainy day fund, because so many adults in the United States do not have a rainy day fund. So they are literally, if one major thing happens, a car breaks down, someone gets sick, things like this, they don't have the money to survive if there's a blip. And so I feel that we as parents, knowing this now, we're seeing this happen more and more within our country, within our communities, to teach our children to take this money out of their paychecks so that they have it. It's just there. It's not even thought about. It's not missed. I mean, now if you have a child who's in a hardship and they need to contribute, yes, I understand contributing, but maybe still just, $5 out of that paycheck can be put into just a jar or whatever it is. And then that's put away for a rainy day. It can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be a huge amount. So anyway, so this is what we're going to be doing in the next week or so. We're going to set up his account. We're going to set up where he's going to put his 10%, and he will get his own little. I think we've decided to go with the brand Greenlight. They make debit cards for kids, but I can also put spending limit on it so that it's not just woo. And the only reason why we're going with a card like that is because some places are cashless. Otherwise, I would just make him have cash because I feel that having a credit card or a debit card is just, it's not money that you're seeing. So you're more willing to spend it versus cash, where um, if you have cash, you can actually see what you have. Do I want to spend it? Do I want to give out this money? Um, these kinds of things. Psychologically, if you have larger bills, you're less likely to spend because psychologically, people don't want to break a 50 or $100 bill. So they will not spend and they will hold on to it a little more or overthink what they're going to spend that money on. If they know they're going to either have to give up the $100 bill and break it, or they spending all that $100. So I think cash is still a really good idea for your kids to carry around. Um, Maybe not $100 bills, but 20s, they might be less likely to break a 20 than ones. So little things like this, I think we as parents need to think about as our kids get jobs. Um, like I said, I'm really proud of Shelby. And I'm so glad that he got this job, and he will do it in the summers because they will do summer camp. It's not an every day or it's not an every week kind of job. They do birthday parties. So Doreen, the owner, she did ask if he's available for parties, which he is if he has the free time. Um, but yeah, and I think this will be great for him too because outside hard work, shoveling, hauling. These are physical activities that make your kids strong, but they're not working out, right? So they're not at the gym. They don't have this gym mentality, but having to work hard for your dollar physically, mentally, socially, I think is really great for our kids. So maybe think about that if y'all have kids who have been talking about getting jobs. It could be starting a dog walking business in your neighborhood. Raking leaves. We're in that time of year, especially in Texas. Leaves, acorns, they're everywhere. Get your kids out there, find them something to do, get them in the fresh air, make them work hard, make them earn their dollar. And I think we will all be better off for it. Our society will be better off for it. And I think starting this new generation of kids where they're starting to want to work, this Gen Alpha, I think if we can kind of change things and make them where they're working hard and earning a dollar because they've worked hard, I think will be better for us in the future. So, with that, I hope you all have a really great week. The song of the week is Shining Stars by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love this song. It's really great. We are all shining stars, like it says, especially our children. And I hope you all have a really great week. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Sandwich Stories. I really hope you learned some new things and enjoyed it. If you did, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your dad, tell everybody you know to also listen. Maybe they'll learn some new things, how to help each other out, and find us at Sandwich Stories Podcast. Thanks so much.